Let's start with the calendar, as always. And on the calendar, what do we have here is data from Australia shown overnight, which was, well, mixed. Employment change worse than expected, but we had a drop in employment rate. Also, what we had was retail sales from UK, which came better than expected, and a British pound is now heading higher. We do have correction on most of the instruments with American dollar, where most of them American dollar is much stronger, but not against the British pound. British pound is having a good time right now because of the data from retail sales. Also, we got CPI from Eurozone, and here no surprise, right? Most of the data from Eurozone come in line with expectations. Usually in United States we do have miss or a beat, but in terms of the data from Eurozone, it's usually like 90% of the time it's in line with expectations. Still to come, data from US, jobless claims, speech from Mark Carney from Bank of England, and also Fed speak. Brainard and Master from FOMC, and Kaplan as well. So you have speeches from those FOMC members. If we look more technically, we do have a much stronger American dollar on the market right now, so we do have a very significant correction, profit action taking. And we warned about that. We warned about that yesterday. We even draw this Fibonacci lines yesterday because that upswing was very strong. Let me show you. All together it was like 300 pips. All together it was 300 pips. I'm very sorry we had some problems with the string program, but now we are back. So we can continue our analysis of the market. I'm terribly sorry about those problems. I hope that from now on it will be much better. Coming back to euro dollar, we were expecting this reversal. We draw even those Fibonacci lines, and our potential target for this movement was here on the orange area here, because those were supports from the second half of October. So now we are aiming 38.2. We are aiming this horizontal support. This reversal is very sharp, as you can see. That's a strong shooting star. That's a strong shooting star, and it creates a chance for a stronger reversal. Not only aiming here, but this can go as far as the upper line of the upper line of the flag, which will go in line with this 50% Fibonacci. So currently we do have a short-term sell signal on euro dollar, but the long-term sentiment is still positive. American dollar to Swiss franc also is having a reversal. It didn't happen on a random place. It happened on a 50% Fibo, but also on the support from January, from March, and from May. Also, the price is creating a flag formation. So for the proper buy signal, what we need to see is a breakout of the upper line of the flag here. So far it looks very promising, this bounce here, V-shaped reversal, but for the proper buy signal we need to see the price closing above the upper line of the flag. Next one is American dollar to Canadian dollar, which is potentially having a very strong buy setup here. There is no buy signal here yet, but potentially that can be a very strong buy signal. So what do we have here is a bounce from the uptrend line, and the bounce is created by the inverse head and shoulder formation here. Left shoulder, head, and a right shoulder. What is more, we do have a breakout of the upper line of the wedge. Here is a wedge, breakout of the upper line is here. Also, we broke the neckline of this formation. And what we have now is a flag. Flag is also a bullish pattern. So what I'm missing here is price getting there. Why? Because I would love to see the breakout of the upper line of the flag and also breakout of the horizontal resistance here. Resistance, resistance, support, resistance, resistance, resistance. So for the proper buy signal, we still need to see like price 25 pips higher. It's not much. It's not much. It's actually nothing. But as long as we stay below this horizontal resistance, there's no buy signal here yet. I'm sorry, my friends, we need to make like okay, we are back. I'm sorry again for this break. We do have this American dollar to Canadian dollar, and before the break I was telling you that we wait for the price to get there, because we will have a combination of few factors: bounce from the uptrend line, then inverse head and shoulder formation, then breakout from the wedge, then breakout from the flag, then breakout of the horizontal resistance. And I call it like an ultimate setup, where I do have many signals from the price action that there is a bullish sentiment. I just wait for the breakout of the upper line of the flag here to hit the buy button. That's a very good setup. Yesterday also we talked about oil, that oil tests ultra important support, and the test so far was positive, right? So we did not break this horizontal resistance, we did not get inside the channel up formation, so that upswing is still legitimate. That's not a false breakout yet. As long as the price on the oil stays above the horizontal support here, above the 55.10 dollars per barrel, the sentiment is positive on oil. Next one is American dollar to Polish zloty, where we spotted a sell signal after the price broke the lower line of the wedge. There was a chance for this inverse head and shoulder formation, but they didn't use that. Buyers did not manage to break the horizontal resistance here. That opened us a way to new lows. So after the breakout of the lower line of the wedge, the sentiment here is definitely negative, with a possible movement for 800 pips. Next one is euro to British pound. After the breakout here, we anticipated that the price will test this 50% Fibonacci. Well, they almost did, like they missed 10 pips. So we can say that the mission was accomplished. And now euro reverses, British pound is much stronger thanks to the data from retail sales. Euro is a bit weaker. As long as we stay above the black line, maybe you don't see a significance of this black line, but I will show you later. As long as we stay above the red line and the black line sentiment is positive. What is the black line? Well, it's the long-term uptrend line. So we can see it's very important. As long as we stay above, the sentiment is still positive, even with this stronger reversal here. And that is a good one. I like it. I especially like it because I'm trading that. I have a position here. But also I wrote an analysis about this instrument, many trading sniper videos, and that also is a very technical setup. Exotic pair, obviously, but very, very technical. So don't close yourself only for major pairs, because you have excellent trading setups even on such exotic instruments like New Zealand dollar to Singaporean dollar. So we broke this horizontal support here, the price declined sharply, then the price created a wedge pattern, wedge aiming the horizontal resistance which was previously support, and then we bounced from this resistance, price broke the lower line of the wedge and declined sharply. That's a very good trading setup. The potential target for this movement is still there, is lower, and still can give you 130 pips. Entering now is a bit too risky because this downfall is very sharp and it's hard to place a stop loss order here, right? Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive days of a downswing. That's huge. So there's no really a good place for a stop loss now. But I hope you used that occasion previously, that you used this for your trading, because I was talking about that since here, I guess, since the beginning of the first week of November. So yes, that is good setup, and I'm extra happy that I have it in my portfolio. Gold. Gold had a great session yesterday, well, till the late afternoon in Europe, because after that we got a sharp decline, and actually instead of bullish scenario, what we're having here is a bearish scenario, because that's a bearish flag, downtrend. It looks like a correction of a downtrend. It does not look, actually the uptrend line can be lower line of the flag. So this looks like a correction of a downtrend, and actually breaking the lower line of the flag and the uptrend line can be potentially very, very dangerous for this situation on gold. We are suffering from the stronger dollar. Let's highlight this horizontal support here, because once the price will get there, below this support, the sentiment will turn into a negative one, and a very strong negative. American dollar to Mexican peso. Well, that can be a false breakout. False breakout above an important resistance. On a daily chart, that's maybe not a classic shooting star, because in a classic shooting star, the head should be 3 times longer than the body. But still, on a daily chart, they didn't manage to close above this horizontal resistance, which can be perceived as a bearish sign. American dollar to Japanese yen, that's a good one. According to the price action rules, there should be a bearish bounce right now. Actually, we got some in the short term. As you can see, a shooting star on the hourly chart and then a downswing. Why is that? Because the price is having a head and shoulder pattern with a horizontal neckline and with incline neckline, and after the drop we are now testing it as a resistance. As long as we stay below the neckline, the sentiment is negative. When we'll come back above the neckline and break this blue line, the sentiment will turn into a positive one. Silver, more attractions on gold, but still, well, on gold, that's kind of a sideways trend as well, flag, but we are moving sideways since the middle of October. And we are having that on silver as well. Since the end of October, the price is moving sideways, and we are waiting for the breakout from this rectangle. Australian dollar to American dollar is doing what expected, so is aiming the uptrend line. We were expecting that since here, and we patiently wait for the price to test the long-term uptrend line. S&P 500, after breaking the horizontal support, they came back above at the end of the American session. Here is the reaction after this major statement from Donald Trump, but actually he didn't say anything significant. I was watching that live and I was expecting for some fireworks, but he was just praising himself. So no fireworks for the traders. Green support seems like it's defended. That's the resistance. Once this resistance will be broken, we should see another upswing. The same goes with DAX. It looks like the horizontal support was defended. That can be so far perceived as a false breakout. 38.2 was defended, so it looks positive, especially this upswing. We will see how it will continue, but for the DAX and for S&P, the midterm sentiment looks positive. Bitcoin is about to make new all-time highs. That's a great recovery. Someone who bought on for $6,000 one Bitcoin can be very happy and is probably rich by now in a few days. Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar, so that's a roller coaster. I don't like this type of trading, it's not very technical, because we got a false breakout from the flag, then the price entered the flag, bounce from the horizontal resistance, breaks flag again. So this situation that I draw you is not respected on this instrument. That's why I don't have my opinion about the direction for this instrument. Dollar index. Here, dollar index is having a reversal. It shows you what's happening with the dollar globally. The thing is that this reversal is not happening on an important support, because important support was already broken here. This neckline of this inverse head and shoulder formation was already broken, and we broke the lower line of the flag. According to the price action and technical analysis, we should see a further downswing. And that upswing from yesterday does not change much. Does not change the situation. As long as we stay below the neckline and below the lower line of the flag, the sentiment on dollar index, so the sentiment towards American dollar, is negative. Euro to Japanese yen is trying to draw like a triple bottom formation, or a head and shoulder formation, or maybe a rectangle. Rectangle will be created once the price will get break the red resistance, and triple top formation or head and shoulder formation will be triggered once we break the green support. So we don't have a signal here yet. Cable. Cable is about to trigger trading signal because breakout of the upper line of this triangle will trigger buy signal, breakout of the lower line should trigger sell signal. So you can see here that even despite the stronger American dollar, pound is doing really good, and pound is heading higher, which you will be able to see on British pound to Australian dollar, which is heading higher. New midterm highs we just made today, actually midterm. We are on the midterm. We are on the highest level since the beginning of June, and we are aiming the upper line of the symmetric triangle, and the chances that we will get there to this upper line of the symmetric triangle are very high. If not today, maybe tomorrow, but we should eventually get there. American dollar to Russian ruble is having a small correction, but we should get to this resistance soon. So after a small correction, there is a bigger chance that we will come back to this horizontal resistance. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching daily analytical report. One more time, I'm very sorry for those problems, for those technical problems that we had at the very beginning. I hope that those trading setups made up for it. Now we'll have a short break, and after that a webinar about technical analysis. Thanks very much guys. For more trading occasions, visit our Twitter account and our website alpari.news.